Hi, welcome back to Papa John's Pantry. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Questions, comments, reach out to me at papajohnspantry@gmail.com. Alright, today we're making like a chicken stew. We're going to thicken the juice we make and turn it into gravy. And then we're going to bake it with some, not instant, but a package of them, the biscuits that come in a tube. And it's a chicken and biscuits casserole that we're gonna bake. All right, so let's get to it. We're gonna spray our crock pot with some Pam. Now I got 3 large carrots. We're just gonna cut these into coins. About a 1/4 inch thick. You don't want people to have to, cut their food up as they're eating it. I went ahead before I started filming, and we are filming. Yeah, okay. And I washed and I peeled these. And it's going to be about 2 cups of celery, or about 1 cup of celery, forgive me. A cup of celery, I'm going to just, same size, cut it up and I'm leaving the leaves on just so when this is, when we take the liquid and turn it into a gravy, I'll just give it some color to pop. If you don't have the celery leaves, no big deal. You can just throw some parsley in there at the end. So about a cup of celery. Get my measuring supplies because I never remember to do anything beforehand. Okay. All right, we'll do the chicken last. I'm going to add. Break these up. 2 cups of frozen green beans. And a cup of onions. We're going to add everything to this and then put the chicken in last just so we're not cross-contaminating all of our stuff. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of salt. I'm using the kosher salt. Two bay leaves. Well, you get some new bay leaves. But a pinch full of bay leaves, which would be, if you have them nice and whole, it would be 2 bay leaves. Those are all falling apart. 2 tablespoons of garlic, minced garlic. All right. Now we're going to take our chicken, cube it, pieces that are again big enough so that people don't need to cut it up as they eat. These are 2 large regular chicken, skinless chicken breasts I'm using. Can you even see? Yeah, okay, perfect. I'm going to cut these up into about inch by inch cubes. This is one of the, these aren't quite thawed out and they're not quite frozen, which makes it perfect to cut. Tend to do things for a reason. Raw chicken, as you know, is quite slimy, and frozen chicken's hard. So even the frozen chicken, all the way frozen chicken's even easier to cut than the raw stuff, just because it's a pain in the butt. So we're just gonna add those right to. to our pan. Crock pot, slow cooker. So it's going to take about 4 to 5 hours to cook. This is something you can do this, let it go. Nothing's going to mush up too bad. And then you can bake the biscuits when you get home. We're going to take the juice, run it through a colander into a pan after we make a roux. That's how we're going to make our gravy. And then we're going to take everything, add it to a 9x13 pan, open up the can of biscuits, put the biscuits on top of the pan, and then bake it all off together, following the biscuit recipe. Because once we add this to the 9x13, everything in here is going to be cooked, and you can actually eat this as like a chicken stew. But we're going to put the biscuits on top. It's almost like chicken and dumplings kind of a thing. All right, I am going to now put this in the sink. Just going to cover it with water until everything's just a little covered. Okay. And I'm going to put this on low. And we'll put some black pepper in there when it's time to make the gravy thing, because we'll probably have to add more salt as well. All right, so I'll catch you in a few hours. Alrighty, so welcome back. Have not touched this. I'm going to stir this up a little bit. Alright, everything's all nice and cooked. Sorry. All nice and cooked. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the stovetop. I'm going to make a roux. We're going to use, just because of the amount of liquid, we use 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to use 1 cup of flour. We're going to thicken this up, make gravy, pour it into a 9x13, open the biscuits, and bake this off. All right, so I'll catch you on the stovetop. Alrighty, we're on the stovetop. We're going to get our butter on a low flame. We're going to set our oven for... Okay. All right. Hold on. Sorry for the lapse in time. I didn't follow whatever 350. So I'm using just a thing of biscuits, and it says for 350. We're going to melt this butter down, then add some flour to it, and we'll see you in a second. Okay, our butter is melted. Adding our flour. Going to stir this up. It's going to be very, very thick. Excuse me. Grab a heat pan. We're going to let this cook then for 30 seconds. Once it's all mixed, sing happy birthday in your head to yourself twice. All right, if you have any great big pieces, try to break them up. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to transfer this to the sink. And we're going to put a colander in. Get the big one, Jesse. We're going to dump all the juice from our crock pot into this through a colander. Just so it's easier to whisk and it's not clumpy. All right, so we're going to go to the sink. It's got crap in it, but that's fine. Alright, so calendar. And alrighty, crock pot stuff. Careful to do it slow enough so you don't burn yourself. And your calendar might get clogged. So you might have to stop what you're doing and clear out your calendar. Alright, I'm just going to put this on a hot pad. Alright, taking this, putting this back in our slow cooker. We are done with the colander. Alright, now we're headed back to the stovetop with our pan full of chicken juice that we're turning into gravy. Still rolling? Mm-hmm. Alright, you want to hand me a whisk, please? Alright, back on a low flame. And this is why we wanted to colander that out first, because it would be hard to whisk the butter and flour into the gravy with all the meat and stuff in the way. Now I used green beans and carrots and the celery and the onions. Use whatever veggies you like. You can use 2 cups of frozen veggies, mixed veggies. You can add broccoli if you want, corn. Have fun. Keep it simple. Yeah. Every night when Jessica comes home from work, little man goes crazy and it becomes playtime. Now, we're going to add a teaspoon of pepper, ground black pepper, black pepper. And Jesse, can you grab me the kosher salt, please? Because I'm sure this is going to need more salt. It was a teaspoon of pepper. I don't know if I said tablespoon or teaspoon. That was a teaspoon. Of course I got some on me. Always do. No. This is actually good. So salt and pepper to taste. I know that seems heavy on the pepper, but remember we didn't put any pepper in the mix. Okay, so now we're gonna go on the countertop over here. Give me just 1 second, folks, to get you set up. Okay. So I put my colander there just so I wasn't dripping all over the place. Push my crock pot to the side. Once you're, just so you know where I'm at. So that's what's going on the countertop. Sorry, I'm kind of back and forth, but I don't want you folks to miss anything. So we're just going to wait for this to come to a boil, turn it off, and then we're going to add this to our crock pot stuff. All right, I'll catch you once this starts to boil. It's steaming like this. It should only be about a minute or so. All right, once this starts to boil, you're just going to let it boil for about 30 seconds. It'll be enough time to get it as thick as, well, it'll be enough time to thicken without it separating in the pan. All righty. Happy birthday again yourself twice. All right, turning this off. And we are coming over here. Look at the thievery. She's stealing. Aw, she's stealing. She's stealing.
I was taking the bay leaves out.
Uh-huh.
See right here, bay leaf.
Uh-huh. And then what
I was
else
taking
were you
the bay
doing?
leaf
Okay,
out.
don't, no. Because what else were you doing?
Taking the bay leaf.
What else were you doing?
Nothing.
I think you're fiddling.
I was taking the bay leaves out. See, there's
Well,
2 of them.
Okay. Yes, take the bay leaves out if you can.
This is what I was doing.
You're stealing stuff.
No, I wasn't.
You're crunching and munching.
No, I wasn't.
Crunching and munching. That's fine. All right, you want to give that a good stir? All right, so then the next step is a standard 9x13 baking pan sheet. We're just gonna spray this down and help it to keep from sticking. Excuse me. We're going to, again, carefully, just like in the colander. Come on, carrot. All right. Well, good enough. All right. All right. And now we are, I have a feeling this might bubble over a little bit, so I'm going to put this pan on top of a cookie sheet just in case if it does boil over, I'm not making a mess out of the oven. You know, you got to be creative sometimes. That's a good way to save yourself aggravation, because I think cleaning the oven's about as much fun as taking a hammer to your testicles. It's a good time. All right, come on. You're popping biscuits. All right, 1 second. We're gonna pop biscuits here in just a second. All right, now we're gonna pop biscuits. You know, whether this is a store brand, we have in Buffalo we have a place called Tops. This is their own brand. You know, Pillsbury makes makes muffins and you're not there yet. You gotta keep peeling. Press. What does it say? It says, what's it say? That's the best part of these things, is I'm going poof. Now the directions said to let these go 13 minutes. We're going to cook these for about 25 because obviously they're going to be hard to tell. You know, there is raw egg and stuff in the biscuit mix. So we're actually make it about half an hour. Nothing's going to mush. You want the biscuits to obviously be cooked all the way through since there's raw egg and stuff in them. And that is that. All right, $3.50 for half an hour. And that, you just ripped that one in half. Yeah. All righty, $3.50, half an hour. I will catch you in a half. Alrighty, it's been about 28 minutes. There's 2 minutes left on the timer. And these are all set. Alright, thanks for watching Homemade Chicken and Dumplings. Ish, sorta. Chicken and biscuits. Thanks for watching.